Hey, this week we are looking at why you might not be achieving the results you want to achieve in your business. So we're going to dive in, as we always do, straight in the deep end. Why are you not achieving the goals, the results, and the dreams that you want to achieve in your business and in your life? Are you ready? So, whatever stage of business you're at. So say you're at the idea stage and you're struggling to get started. Say you've got started and you're stalling, or even that you are full on committed in your business and you are confused and you need clarity. So it doesn't really matter what stage of business that you're at. We can work with them all, and this is really important for each stage because we can always do this work. We should always be doing this work that we're going through today. So maybe grab a pen, grab some paper if you can. If you're driving, that's absolutely fine. You can always come back to this. And this is so important because so many women are struggling. They're feeling discouraged, even burnt out. And a lot of women want to quit and give up. Some before they've even got started, some when they've got momentum, and some when it's going and it's just overwhelming and it's almost too much. And it doesn't need to be this. It doesn't need to be this way. So whether this is your business or your life, it doesn't need to be that way. So by the end of this podcast, this video, however you are watching or listening to this, you're going to know what to do next. You're going to know wherever I'm at. So wherever I'm at in my business, in my life, I can reset. I can ask these questions that we're going through today. I can ask them. I can get the clarity that I need, and then I can reset. Because this time of the year, it depends when you listen to this, but we're currently in autumn. It is the beginning of November. November, people are always encouraging us to make party plans and to set goals. If that works for you at this time of the year, then happy days. Go and party, go and set goals. But I would encourage you to never set goals without doing what we're doing today, whatever time of the year. For me, this time of the year is about doing this kind of work so that when the spring comes, when we're ready to grow again and move again, we've got the energy to do that. Whereas now it's about resetting, recharging, asking ourselves these questions, asking for help in answering these questions, and then we've got a very strong foundation to build our business and life on. Okay? So, as always, I have my notes because I don't want to forget anything. So, when you're in business, when you're in life, and you are an ambitious woman, it is likely you are listening to this, you want more in your life and in your business. When you set goals and when you have vision and when you want to see more success in your business and your life, it can lead to you stressing, straining, striving. It can lead to health issues. It can lead to tummy issues, digestive issues, elimination issues, hormone issues, hormone imbalances. It can lead to that brain fog that we can sometimes get confused with perimenopause symptoms and all that kind of stuff. But actually, it's because we need different foundations. It might be perimenopause, it might be other things, but let's get the foundations right first so we know where we're starting from and we're building our house on diamonds, not sinking sand. So I was on a walk yesterday with my husband and I'm always asking, don't do it on my own anymore. I'm always asking, what's the message this week? What is the message? And I kept getting business. We have to look at business and goals and what are we working from. So how do we achieve? This is what you really want to know. How do you achieve what you want to achieve in your business and in your life the quickest? That's what we want to know, isn't it? That's the answer. That's what we're all searching for. That's the golden ticket. Tell me the answer to that and I'll be off. You're going to get that today. And the easy answer is for me to tell you or for you to go away now with your pen and paper and figure it all out. but there's a better way. I promise you, there is a better way where it is just so much more powerful. There are so many benefits to doing this work in this way. You are going to start to reap the benefits, I promise. So here's two things to really remember, because when we remember these two things, it makes us realize we're not going crazy, and it also makes us realize that we get to choose a different way of building our business and our life. So the first thing to remember is, wherever you are at, whatever stage, like I said before, whether you're at the idea stage and you're struggling to start, or you started and you're stalling, or you are full on committed and confused, whichever stage, or you might be somewhere in the middle or across of them all, wherever you're at in your business and in your life, if you are experiencing a wilderness period, wilderness means confused, a bit lost, a bit on your own, then you are actually, and this is not a bad thing, tested in the wilderness. What do I mean by that? So in the wilderness, you're tested to see, where will she go? Where will she go when things get hard? Where will she go when she's got a decision to make, when she's got a plan to make, when she's got goals to create? Where will she go if she faces rejection, if somebody says no to her, if whatever happens to you, life happens, where do you go? Because you'll have had different things going on. So you might be at the idea stage and need help leaving your job and having that confidence, that boldness to step out of your job into something new. Where do you go in that? Do you struggle to even do that and get out of your own way? Is it all on you? And then the wilderness might be, you started, but you're stalling because there's so many questions, so much to work out, you don't know where to start. Where do you go? Do you go into fear? Then you might be full on committed and confused because you've got this business and it might not be satisfying you, it might not be what you thought it was, and you're struggling within it. Where do you go? Where do you go in all of that? So do you go to complete fear and panic and figuring it all out and working it all out and getting another mentor and doing this and doing that? Somebody else will help me figure it all out. Where do you go? And the second thing to know is that you get to choose how long you stay in that wilderness for. Now, we are called many times to come out of that wilderness. We are called many times to be told, hey, you don't have to do this life thing on your own. But how many times do we actually listen? How many times do we actually say, do you know what, I'm letting go? And God, I want your help. How many times do we do that? For me, I was probably in the wilderness for about 40 years trying to figure it all out. It was not a fun place to be, but I didn't know what I know now, and I didn't know what I didn't know, and I didn't know there was another way, and I didn't know all the benefits of not building my business and my life on my own. So how do we change all of this? How do we change it if you're feeling discouraged, if you're hitting burnout, if you're confused, if you're stalling, if you're trying to leave your job, if you're trying to build a business? How do we change all of this? How do you change all of this? Because in a way, you're probably thinking, I can't do it. I've tried. I can't do it on my own. And that's a really great place to be. So I would like to ask you these 3 questions. The first one is, who set the goals you currently have in your business and in your life right now? Who set them? So, was it you on your own? Was it what the world sort of says should be your goals? You should have a kid by this age. Your business should be at this stage by this point. This is what you should aim for. Who set the goals? A lot of the time, and I know this was the case for me, I set the goals myself based on what other people had achieved that I thought was success. Because I was looking at what I saw was their success. I didn't know the whole picture. I didn't know that a lot of them weren't successful underneath it or didn't feel it or weren't happy. But I had this image of success and that I would be happy when I achieved that. So I based goals on that, not knowing. I based goals on SMART goals, so being specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time bound. So I set goals in line with what the world teaches us in how to set them. Be smart. I mean, they're not even smart anyway, are they? Because we're setting them. So we're using what we think naturally can happen in a certain timeline. So I think I can have a kid this year and one next year. I think my business can grow from this to this in this time. We're working it all out by ourselves. We're not thinking supernaturally. We're thinking naturally based on our own efforts. That's going to lead to burnout, 100%. So who has set your goals? Have you done these goals alone? Have you set them alone? Even if you set them with a coach, have you invited in God to help you build your business? If you've not, it's fine. I didn't for years. I didn't know what I was missing out on. I didn't know the benefits. I didn't understand God. I didn't get it all. I didn't understand that there was a plan for me, for my business, that would be better than anything I could conceive of. I didn't know that. And it's still learning now. So you don't go from this being, oh, I didn't know that, to it being perfect. This is step by step. We can ask for the next step. How many times do we ask for the next step? We don't. We create this beautiful plan, this beautiful vision, and we never ask for guidance. And then we wonder why we're not achieving the goals, because they're not even our goals anyway. So again, I keep coming back to this example. In 2015, I was like, I'm having a go. I was specific. It was a girl and the date. And in 2016, I'd have a boy. I didn't get either goal. That was life. I didn't get either goal because that wasn't my plan. That wasn't my timeline. And then in my business, I was like, I am going to have 1,000 women by this date because that's successful. I didn't achieve that. That's not my vision. And even yesterday, I got the clarity on 1,000? Really? Is that your goal, or is that what you've seen other people doing and think that that's success? So I have now got a new number. I've been given a new number. It's not my number. It's a number that I've been given that I'm like, oh, wow, that feels amazing. 1,000 sounds sexy to the world. Wow, 1,000? How amazing is that? But what if it wasn't about the number, it was about their impact? It's not about the number of houses you've got, it's about how profitable are them. It's not about the number of women in your group, it's about how are their lives transforming. If there's so many and they get a meek, kind of mild transformation, is that good? Is that success? What if you have less numbers and their lives are transformed? Is that success? But stick with me. So that's the first question. Who set your goals? Because you might be working every single day. You might be putting so much effort into goals that are not your goals. They might be too small. They might not be your goals. They might not be right. And yet you're putting all your effort into them and wondering why you're tying yourself in knots. Who set your goals? The second question to ask yourself is, who created your vision? So your vision for your life and your vision for your business. Who created your vision? Again, I mean, do you even have one? But if you have one, how did you create it? Did you create it on your own? Who did you create it with? Did you ask for guidance? This isn't a beat up because I didn't do this either. This is what I wish somebody had taught me years ago before I wasted so much time on course after course, book after book, coach after coach, trying to figure this all out mentally, trying to, in my own limits and my own understanding, figuring all of this out. I never knew I could ask for help. So the other thing to think about in terms of your vision is, who created your vision and from what basis did you build it on? So if your vision is based on fear and insecurity and I'm not good enough, then is that fertile soil from which to build a strong life and business vision on? Potentially not. Mine wasn't. The third question, And I think the most important question to ask yourself, to really get clear on, to really ask for clarity on, is what is your definition of success? Not the world's definition of success. Not you will be successful with this amount of properties, with this amount of clients, with this amount of money, looking like this, weighing this number, whatever you weigh, dressing like this. Not what the world defines as success. What do you define as success? What is success to you? Like, I'd never considered that. Success to me was, I would look at on other coaches that had thousands of women and be like, wow, that is success because look at them. And it's only when you start to see behind the scenes that you're like, that's not all I thought it was. That's not what social media sold it to me as. So what is your definition of success? What does success mean to you in life? Success to me means perfect poos every day, perfect digestion, perfect periods because I know my hormones are balanced. It means being able to take time off whenever I want to go and see my son at school and having the freedom to be like, yeah, I can come to that event. I can do that. Freedom to me is not just when we all say, oh, I want freedom. What is freedom? What actually is freedom? What is success? What is success? I mean, that is such a gorgeous question to spend the next few weeks thinking about. Again, do you go and party? It's all about partying, but do you know what I mean? Do you go and create all of these goals before you even know what success is for you? Before you even actually checking in and stepping away a little bit from what the world tells us we should be doing. By this age, you should have achieved this, this, and this, and you should look like this, this, and this, and you should have this money and this car and these houses and all this kind of stuff, and your business should be here. It's like, whoa. I'm going to just stop a minute. I'm going to reset. I'm going to rest a little bit because nature's resting. And I'm going to ask myself, what is the definition of success to me? What is it? How powerful is that? And for women who are in Believe already, this week's new module is all about you getting really clear on how to get your definition of success. That's what you're going to work through. There's 3 things, A, B, and C. And when you know what they are and how you work through them, you will get clarity on what your definition of success is. And from that, you can then ask, really simply ask, what's the vision? What's the plan for my life? Because I don't want to do this on my own anymore. I don't want to figure it all out. I'm burning myself out doing it on my own. And the thing is, when you say this and you say you don't need to build your business and your life on your own, sometimes it doesn't make sense because we don't know what not building our business and life on our own looks like. We don't know the benefits. We don't know that there's somebody, something there who can help us, who has been wanting to help us all along, who has a plan for our life and can give us the next step, can give us the guidance, can give us a marketing strategy, can give us, I don't know, whatever you need, a business name. It can give you the idea of what to start, what business to start. It can help you overcome getting in your own way. It can give you a marketing strategy, a finance plan. It can give you goals. It can give you the vision that is right for you. Not what the world says. Not what the world says is success and not what the world says is possible. But I get it. I totally get it because we have been told and taught as women that we're smart, and we can do it. We can do it on our own. You have got the power. You can do it. You can do so much. You can get to a certain point. But when you keep stalling and getting confused and hitting burnout, that's when it's like we can't keep relying on our own strength. Our own strength will get us so far and then we'll hit a wall. If you keep hitting a wall, that's the wilderness. And God's saying, hey, this is a line from scripture. I will make a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. Let's break that down for a minute, because I get it that the Bible and a lot of the scriptures do not make sense. But what I was thinking recently is the Bible is really just a guide to successful living. God says, I will make a way for you in the wilderness. So wherever you're at, idea stage, started and stalling, full on, committed and confused, struggling to start, wherever you're at, I will make a way in your wilderness. So it doesn't matter which stage you're at, whether it's a mixture in between, I will make a way in your wilderness. You are not alone, but you have to lean in. You have to be like, do you know what? I refuse to do life on my own anymore. It might not make full sense. It probably won't make full sense. But I want to be in a community where other women are learning how to build a business in a different way, not all on their own strength, because it's mind-blowing. But you've got to decide that. So God's here going, hey, I can make a way for you, but you've got to make the first move. A lot of the time I was like, well, if there is a God, the plan would be here. But it's like, no, we've got to make the first move. And then it carries on to say, I will make a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. So what does that mean? Imagine now you want to leave your job and you want to start your own business, but you don't understand where the money's going to come from. Or you started it and the money isn't flowing, or you're full on committed and the money isn't flowing and you're confused, or wherever you're at. Say you need more clients, say you need more properties, more deals, whatever you need, more ideas, whatever it is, I will make streams in the wasteland. So it might feel quite barren now. It might feel quite dry now, but you will experience streams. It won't just be a trickle of whatever you need. It will be a full-on stream. But you have to make that first move. You have to get to that point. And the thing is, we don't have to get there out of burnout or discouragement or absolute fed-upness. Usually it is one of those because we're like, oh, I can't do it anymore on my own. And normally it is when we're suffering and when we're in pain. It doesn't have to be like that. We are all called back so many times. It's whether we listen. They say 7 times, they say 77 times. Personally, I feel like I've been called back about 777 times. If you think about all the times in your life that you've been struggling, that you've felt lost, confused, all of these times when you've got health issues, God's like, hey, I can help, but you've got to make the first move. And that's what we do in Believe. This God thing will not make sense. Doing life on your own is what we've been taught to do. Not doing it on your own is a decision when you're like, I know I've got more in me. I know I'm off track, but I don't exactly know what the path is. I don't know what the next step is. All of that clarity, all of those answers. It says, call to me and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. So all of those questions, what do I do next? What's my marketing strategy? What's my marketing message? How do I get more deals? How do I get more clients? Do I change my business name? Do I start the business? Whatever the question is, ask and you will be answered. That's part of the ABC that you're going to go through in the module. For now, ask yourself those 3 questions. Number 1, who set your goals? Did you do it alone? Number 2, who created your vision for your business and your life? And number 3, what is your definition of success? Not the world's, not somebody else's, not what it says on social media, not what your group says. What is your definition of success? And I would highly encourage you to spend time thinking about your definition of success. You might find a lot of it, I'll just get mine out now, you might find a lot of it isn't even what you thought it was. Let's have a look. Not fearing what other people think. That's my top one. What is success to me? Living my life, not fearing what other people think. That's freedom. Fully being myself. Perfect poos, perfect periods. Building a community where women's lives change and feedback is it's life-changing. Wow. I mean, I could read the rest of it. I'll tell you all in the group, in the Believe community, the rest of it. But I would encourage you to write your own because it's mind-blowing. And if you haven't yet, I would encourage you to not build your business and your life on your own. And I know it doesn't make sense. I know the benefits aren't apparent, but this is what we do and believe. We make it real. It's a journey, it's a process, because we've got to let go of our old ways of doing things and our old ways of writing goals and creating visions. We've got to kind of let go, and that's perfect for autumn. Let go of the way we did things if it's not working for us and if we're not achieving our goals. And maybe lean in and see how God can help you build your business and your life in a different way. The Believe way is a different way, and it will change your business and your life. I know that for sure. All right, any questions, you know where I am, and I will see you again next week.